All right, so we're going to talk about amplifying your voice. And I think we're going to do later on in the year, we're going to drill down even deeper into this one. But last time I talked about the time consuming marketing and promoting part of being self published. And this even bleeds into traditional publishing because the things that I've been hearing is that a lot of traditional publishers are even expecting authors to do some of these things on their own, and maintain, Facebook pages and websites and whatnot. And I don't know how much help they give in some of these areas, but one thing is very clear, that if you're going to connect with your readers, you're going to have a social media presence, and that means you're choosing the right platform. So finding your audience is a big deal on social media. So are you looking at, I know that I do Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn and TikTok. So I have 5 social media platforms that I'm managing. The other thing is creating and engaging content. So you are doing a mixed content of, book excerpts, behind the scenes, personal anecdotes, photos, graphics, videos, mixing it up. I would say the king of content is Gary Vee. If you don't follow him online, you probably should. He has a lot to say about social media marketing and business in general. And it just blows my mind sometimes. He's talking about, like, for example, this blog post or this video can be, diced up into individual smaller pieces of content and disseminated online. And that's what I try to do. But he says that, 10 pieces of content a day, which is crazy, for just one person. He has a whole team of people that help him do things. And so I do my best. I have at least 4 or 5 pieces of content going out every single day, and trying to dice those up into smaller pieces and do a better job of that and try to manage it the best I can. I do schedule things out. I do these videos, like, for example, this is probably it's posting in March, but I'm recording it in 2024 in July, to schedule. So I have scheduled content that I schedule out, and then I can focus on more of the behind the scenes and, like the on-demand content, which then adds. So if I have 4 or 5 pieces scheduled and then I add 4 or 5 more pieces, then I'm at my 10 pieces of engaging content. And that's the thing. It has to be engaging. It can't just be garbage. It has to have some sort of meaning and use to people. And that helps too on your SEO, for your search engine optimization for Google, to make sure that your content that you're creating is relevant to the people out there, absorbing the content, because they'll give you a higher ranking. If you're just putting garbage out, they're not going to give you a very high ranking in your search engine optimization. Using hashtags and keywords, those are important to broaden your audience and bring new followers to your pages. Host interactive events. I haven't done this yet, and I know it's probably something that I need to do, but I am going to try to do some things with, I think, Gamma and maybe another organization. Gamma is Game Manufacturers Association, on kind of the business side of those kinds of things. It gets me in front of people. So my name is out there, and hopefully they'll go, look up the books and whatnot. Running social media ads. I don't do this as often as I probably should. Targeted ads. I'm still trying to figure all of that out and making sure that you're targeting your correct demographics, interests, and behaviors. This is people go to school to learn this, so I could spend hours and hours trying to figure it out. But I just have to kind of put some things out there and see how they work, basically. So you do need to, if you're serious about being an author and selling books, some sort of personal branding. So you're building your author identity. So you want to define your brand that reflects your writing styles, your themes, your personalities, and keep it consistent with your readers. Just kind of be open and honest. Honestly, that's what people want. Probably some sort of a professional website, well-designed website, online hub. It has your bio, your book descriptions, a blog, a link to, whatever, that it's mobile friendly and it's easy to navigate. Maintain a blog. Regularly update your blog with content such as writing tips, book reviews, industry news. So blogging kind of establishes that you're engaged with an online audience, and it drives organic traffic to your website. Again, this is SEO. Whenever Google looks at your content, it tries to see how often that you update your content. Whether, if you just put a page out there and never touch it, it's not going to rise very high on the search list. So keeping it constantly doing things to it is the best bet. Crafting a compelling author bio. I probably need to go back and revisit this. And that's the thing. You set it up and you do it, and then things change, and you publish more books, or now I'm designing games, and so now I have to go back and revamp and add things to my author bio. And so these things periodically have to be revisited. Building an email list. I've not done this. I tried to engage readers to subscribe in a newsletter. It would be helpful to be able to send it out. Hey, I have a new book, and people who have the other books then can purchase it. I think that you have to be really careful to avoid some federal regulations on canned spam. You have to make sure that you have their permission to send them an email and give them an opportunity to opt out of those emails. But it does give you an option to offer exclusive content, discounts, free chapters, and gives you an opportunity to regularly engage with your audience and let them know where you are in your latest projects. I tend to do that on social media more than I do on an email list. But a lot of times, a literary agent will ask for how many people are on your email list when you're doing a query. So it might be something that you have to do. And to get an email list, you're probably going to have to do in-person events and have people sign up. I don't know. And it's hard to get people to sign up, offer, I've done a drawing for a free book, that kind of thing. Networking within the industry. So going to writers' conferences, joining author groups, online forums, networking and building relationship with publishers and industry professionals where you can share and promote your work. And support others. I mean, that's a good way you learn new things all the time. Talking to another author is where we came up with the pre-order forever card. He had those, and he said, oh, this is just a card, and I have the digital copy of the book. So when people at an event say that they only read ebook, I can say, hey, would you like to buy the ebook from me? And it can be a lot. You make more by selling that card that's I think it's 50 cents a card, and they just scratch off and they have a code and they can go and download the book or all of the books. I put all my books on there. But my profit margin is larger than if they were to go online and do the Kindle. I see a lot of people that pick up a business card. Oh yeah, I'm going to look this up. And then you don't see the correlation of them purchasing the Kindle book online because they've gone home and now they have a pile of business cards and they forgot what yours was for and they just throw them away. I hate business cards, but you kind of have to have them. I have found at events, if you turn it over and you write on the back of it what they were interested in, they will remember it more whenever they actually review that business card whenever they go home. And hopefully it doesn't end up in the trash. Just another hurdle to overcome in selling your books. Doing personal signings, so making personal connections with readers, planning strategic locations for your signings. A lot of people say independent bookstores, libraries, literary festivals, coffee shops. I'm going to be completely honest, any of those are highly saturated with books and you're competing with everybody else there. I honestly have done better at local craft fairs and other like gaming conventions for fantasy and science fiction. I do better there than competing with independent bookstores and coffee shops and author events. I do those on occasion, but not very often. Helping to promote the event. So, advertising that you're going to be there, you're going to be signing your books, creating eye-catching posters, flyers. I don't know if I do posters or flyers, but I definitely would post something online on all your socials. Offer exclusive content, signed copies, limited edition merchandise, special discounts. I usually do special discounts, so I have convention pricing, which is typically cheaper than if you actually went to Amazon and bought my books. So you get them cheaper. Of course, doing bundled deals. If you buy the entire trilogy, you save even more. To kind of incentivize people to buy it and purchase it from you there. You can also say, well, it's a signed copy here. It's not signed if you get it on Amazon. So those are a few things that you can do. Engaging with your attendees. I talk to people all the time, getting their interest and their feedback. Sometimes it is difficult to sell books in person, but, just talking to people, whether or not they're a fan or not, or whether or not they're interested in your writing, sometimes just asking them, what kind of books do you like? And, obviously if, they tell me, well, I like, erotica. Well, I don't have erotica, so you may not like any of my books. But I do frequently do shows with my writing partner, Trevor Bierschbach, and he has like a political thriller, dystopian. And so sometimes whenever people, maybe they're not interested in fantasy or science fiction, sometimes I even push them in that direction that, hey, this other author might have something that you're interested in. And I know that sometimes people are like, well, you promoted another author. What in the world? Well, we are in competition with each other, but that doesn't mean we have to be cutthroat and evil about it. Just I can help Trevor make a sale, if I just, and I want the reader to genuinely like what they bought. I don't want them to buy something and hate it. So, just keep that in mind. But engaging with people and understanding, you're not just trying to sell them a book, you're trying to sell them something that they're actually going to enjoy. So I think that that's important, is just to talk to people. Partnering with local businesses, co-hosting events. So local businesses, we have a few, like local bookstores that will feature independent authors and things like that. I haven't done that in a while. I probably need to do it again. I know I'm going to start developing those relationships with some of the games that I'm putting out. So that is a way to go, is to partner with local businesses. And then also, documenting the event. A lot of times I try to take pictures of the booth or things that I'm doing. If I run across a funny cosplay or something, taking a picture with it and posting it, it showcases my activity and my engagement with that particular event, lets people know that that event is going on, and it just builds awareness online, So those are some of the things, like the content that you can put out there and how that works. But I mean, the possibilities are endless. So, and we'll dive deeper into the promotions and marketing pieces of all of this, but these are all things that you need to consider whenever you're amplifying your voice. And if you're doing self-publishing, you're doing most of it yourself. So just keep that in mind.